Hello everybody, hope you all are doing well. I'm Kajuju and this is a deck check. I'll be giving you straight up gameplay and impressions of how well each of the various games work on the Steam Deck, as well as how the controls feel, what settings I use to get the game to run smoothly, and whether I personally would prefer to play this game on my PC or on the Steam Deck. I won't be doing any sort of deep dive into the performance or hardware of the Steam Deck itself. I will leave the performance overlay on for FPS for you to observe as we go through this deck check. Timestamps are provided for you to get straight to the part that you are interested in, so be sure to check that out, especially if you just want to see gameplay with no commentary. So let's get started. The game we are checking out is LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. This new iteration of LEGO Star Wars allows you to play through all 9 of the Star Wars Saga films. You relive each of the films with mini-games and LEGO humor sprinkled in throughout your experience. LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga has hundreds of characters that you will be able to play as well as a variety of vehicles to command as you go through this journey. They describe it as the ultimate LEGO Star Wars experience. At the time of this recording, the game's deck compatibility status is unsupported. It has a message saying that Valve is still working on adding support for this game on the Steam Deck. So let's dive right in. The game can't run well out of the box, unfortunately. You will experience some performance issues, mainly in the cinematic cutscenes. It is easy to fix though, and you may already have the solution ready. So you just need to force the game to use GE Proton 7-10. The issue lies in the cinematic cutscenes not properly playing, so the compatibility tool that we are forcing fixes that issue. I'll walk you through how to get GE's Proton 7-10 on your Steam Deck in case you don't have it. So first, let's go straight into desktop mode. Open up Steam to make sure you have the proper desktop controls and the ability to open up an on-screen keyboard. Then go into Discover and search for Proton Up QT. You can bring up the keyboard by pressing the Steam plus X buttons. Once that is installed, launch it and you should be able to see a small window pop up. Make sure the drop down is selected to Steam, which it should be by default. Then you're going to hit Add Version. The compatibility tool should be Proton GE, and the version to choose is GE Proton 7-10. You can probably experiment with the other GE Protons to see if they work better for this game, but for me, I am just using what I already have. Once that is fully installed, you can go back into gaming mode and go into the gear icon for LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Go down into properties, and in compatibility, you will checkmark force the use of a specific compatibility tool and use GE Proton 7-10. You should be good to play the game now. LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga defaults to the gamepad with joystick trackpad layout, which works straight out of the box. The game uses Xbox controller prompts, so it matches well with the Steam Deck's controller labels. I didn't feel like I needed to look at the controller to see what button to press, since I am familiar with the Steam Deck's layout. You can also enable gyro controls, which can be pretty helpful when it comes to aiming a blaster or moving objects around with the force. Not much for me to say in terms of controls for this game, since it all seems to just work great out of the box. The game runs decently well on the Steam Deck. The graphic options are not very customizable and are very limited, so there really isn't a high or low setting for me to show you. FPS for this game is a bit everywhere, and it depends where you are in the game. You can get up to 60 FPS when in small areas, but you will dip down to 30 to 45 FPS when a lot is happening on screen. If you are facing a direction where there is a lot of the level in front of you, you may get around 35 FPS. LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga does not feel very consistent on the Steam Deck from my experience. I definitely think it is still enjoyable to play, but I honestly wasn't expecting the game to be a bit tough for the Steam Deck to handle. If you played with the 30 FPS lock, you may feel that the game is more consistent in the FPS, but even then there are occasions where the game dips to below 30 FPS. I wanted to talk a little bit about the battery life for this game. Now keep in mind that battery life is dependent on so many different factors, such as the brightness setting, the frame rate cap, background downloads, any other applications running in the background, and whether you are in gaming mode or desktop mode. I won't be able to touch on every single different factor of battery life while playing LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, but I will keep it to the type of environment that I expect most people to be playing on. So I have the game with nothing running in the background that I know of, and a capped frame rate of 60. The battery is also fully charged, so now the only changing factor would be the brightness level. So at the highest brightness level, the estimated battery life is about 2 hours and 30 minutes. At middle brightness level, the estimated battery life is about 2 hours and 40 minutes. At the lowest brightness level, the estimated battery life is about 3 hours. The estimated battery life is mostly accurate from my experience, so hopefully this game will give you an idea of how long you can play LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga without needing to charge. Something I wanted to know is that if you set the cap to 30 FPS, that may also give you a lot more battery estimated life. LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga is a decent game on the Steam Deck. It is too bad that it does not run straight out of the box, so we have to do a few extra steps to get a specific Proton compatibility that we have to install ourselves. The controls were great for the game, but the downside from my experience was the performance. The performance just felt to be a bit everywhere. There were some stutters, but the main problem was just the inconsistent frame rate. It is in no way unplayable. You are still able to enjoy yourself and experience the game, but if you are someone who was expecting a smooth experience on the Steam Deck from a LEGO game, you may be a bit disappointed as you watch the FPS counter go a bit everywhere. When it comes to whether I would prefer to play this game on my desktop PC or on the Steam Deck, I would actually still prefer to play this game on my Steam Deck. Like I said before, the performance does not make it unplayable. This seems like a good game to get into on the Steam Deck, and it has a good amount of battery life that will keep you entertained in case you are looking to kill some time. But let me know in the comments down below if you think otherwise, or if I missed anything you'd like to see for the next video. If there is a specific game you'd like for me to try out, feel free to leave a suggestion in the comments as well. I'll leave some gameplay after this outro for you to watch if you just want to see gameplay without any commentary. Also consider supporting the channel by leaving a tip. A link will be provided in the description below if you are feeling generous. Be sure to read the messages before tipping. So remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Until then, I will see you all later. Goodbye.
Over there. It's an invasion army.
We have to get down to the planet and warn the Naboo. Let's go aboard one of them.
Missing your humble servant.
Let's get out of here before more droids show up.
Jar Jar, we need to find somewhere safe and warn the Naboo of this invasion.
Excuse me, but the most safest place would be Okagunga. It's a hidden city.
Can you take us there?
This way. Hurry. We're going underwater, okay? Oh, my warning you. Gunga is no like outsiders, so don't expect a warm welcome.
Oh, don't worry. This hasn't been our day for warm welcomes.
Hey, you sir, stop it there.
They all day, Captain Tarbot. Mr. Back?
Not again, Shacha. You sir go into the bosses. You sir in big doo-doo this time.
How whoa!
Misa keep me belongings good and safe in this chest. But, Misa forgot the password. Misa moi. That's why Misa ask Rebel friend write down password. His house is, Misa forget that too. Misa keep me belong. That's why Misa ask Rebel friend write down password. Misa keep me belongings good and safe. That's why me.
Indeed have muy small tongues. How does that eats? Oh, it gives the visitors shivers just thinking about it. The peoples in Theed have muy